What's up, everybody? It's BBKDRAGOON with a review of Nirwens Mercy, the rank 5 Iron Banner pulse rifle you can purchase from Saladin. It is 90 marks. Our search continues for great PvP weaponry that's pretty easy to obtain. I wouldn't say getting to rank 5 is super easy, but is this weapon worth your 90 marks? Well, maybe. It just depends on what kind of player you are. This is the same impact and rate of fire as Red Death, so it falls into that medium rate of fire, medium impact PvP pulse rifle archetype here. It's got a much nicer scope set than that of Red Death, and it has a much higher aim assist stat than Red Death. So let's start with the straight up pros. It's got a great aim assist stat of 65. It can go all the way up to 70 depending on the perks. Just put that in perspective, the Messenger and Red Death, their aim assist stat is only 35, and Hawksaw's aim assist stat is 60. So this is a notch above all of those main weapons. The only gun that's going to outdo that is that Suros PDX-45, which has an insane, like, 70 aim assist stat off the bat. It's the same impact and feeling as a Red Death. You can get Head Seeker on this weapon, and if that rolls onto it, that's pretty darn good. The weapon you buy from Lord Saladin has Third Eye, which allows the radar to stay on the screen while you're scoped in, which I think is an incredibly powerful perk. Incredibly powerful. And then the other perk that comes with it is Outlaw. Now, Outlaw... mixed feelings about it. I think it's okay, but I think there are better combinations. Basically, I would much rather have Head Seeker, Rangefinder, or Counterbalance over Outlaw. But as it comes, the stock version of this weapon is not bad. How does it feel? All numbers aside, this is a good PvP pulse rifle, and I absolutely think for 90 marks, that's a steal. You know, that's less than the 150 that you'd be paying for a Hawksaw. It's less than the 150 you'd be paying for a Year 2 Red Death. The gun is above average. It is not top tier. I would not put it on that upper echelon of the Red Deaths, but it is a great PvP pulse rifle. As my friend Sassy put it, if you want a good damage legendary, it's an okay starting point. So some of the weaknesses of the gun that make it just above average and not top tier. It's got a range stat of 34. That's a little bit more than Red Death, but it's negated by the weapon's recoil. The gun bounces. You actually have to really manage the recoil. Watch during a shot string. You'll actually see the cursor moving during a singular burst, even if you're, really timing your shots pretty well, making it worthwhile to get one of these guns with Counterbalance. If you get one of these dropping for you with a nice perk set, and those perks that I would look for, again, would be either, Third Eye, Head Seeker, Rangefinder, or Counterbalance. If you get any of those perk rolls on a drop, definitely hold on to that weapon because it's going to be very good. As it stands, Saladin's perk rolls, the one you can purchase, are not optimized. I love Third Eye, as I said before, but Outlaw, in my opinion, is a wasted perk. This gun has a great reload stat of 68. You don't need that benefit, so it's a wasted perk slot. You also have a clip size, if you're using the Saladin one, of 33, which is more than average for this type of PvP pulse rifle. It feels like a Red Death with a way better selection of sights and an aim assist stat that's almost double. I think that's why a lot of people will like this gun almost better than, it'll feel better in their hands than a Red Death, because Red Death has very little auto aim, making it a pretty high skill ceiling weapon. It's hard to aim with the Red Death. They're not going to give you a whole lot of help keeping that cursor stuck to people, whereas this gun almost has double that. So Nirwens, a lot of time, especially close, medium, long, it just tends to find the enemy, stay on the enemy, and it's easier to get those headshots, which leads me more to believe a Head Seeker version of this gun would be delicious. That is something that I would love to try out. I've only had one of these. Funny story, I got my Nirwens, I played 2 more games in Iron Banner, and then another Nirwens dropped. It was a horrible perk set. It was like Surrounded and something else completely useless, but man, Destiny in a nutshell, right? Where does it fall in the PvP pulse rifle tier list? Now, this is just Dragoon's personal opinion. This does not reflect everybody else in the game, but there's many players who also agree with me. Right now, the Hawksaw or the Suros PDX-45 pulse rifle archetypes are really stinking strong. The low impact, high rate of fire pulse rifles that occupy the same spot as Hawksaw and Suros PDX-45 are extremely good and very dominant. This gun does not beat them, in my opinion, but I think it plays on an almost even footing as them. But Red Death sits above this gun still. The Red Death perk of getting that health regen back after a kill, supremely helpful. And if you can put up with the low aim assist stat, Red Death, in my opinion, is a better gun. But hey, let's look at the benefit of Nirwen. It's legendary. So if you have a truth or you have some exotic, special, or heavy weapon that you want to use, great option. For 90 marks, this is a steal. I think you should go out and buy it. I enjoyed my time with the gun. Every time I played with it, it was fun. It's better. It's more fun to play with, I think, than Red Death, but I still think, you know, that Red Death perk is OP and going to stay really strong until we see some of the Trials Year 2 guns. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. If you have the gun or opinions of your own, share them down below. As always, these weapon reviews are not fact. It's just my thoughts, feedback, and opinions. If you enjoyed, also let me know with a like. Subscribe for more. Love you guys. Have a great rest of the day, and I will see you tomorrow.